Why were Fumero and Beatriz so connected right from the pilot episode? Who from the cast is most likely to give relationship advice? Why do they call Lo Truglio a Butt McGee? And how often do the cast say the title of your sex tape joke IRL? Spoiler alert, a lot. Hi, I'm Clive. Let's rock! Fumero and Beatriz were afraid they'd get fired. Seriously. Now, for some of you, it may not seem like a big thing that two female Latinas play central roles in a series. But the truth is that before Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there were hardly any US shows with a cast like that. If you can remember one, please tell us in the comments about it. That's why, from the very beginning of production, Melissa Fumero and Stephanie Beatriz were super worried that one of them would get fired. And that's what united them from the start. Before shooting the pilot, the two of us talked privately and decided to make ourselves look as drastically different as possible, Fumero recalls. They came up with some paranoiac ideas, like they decided that one would wear her hair straight and the other would make hers curly. We really stuck together, and I'm so grateful that we did, said Fumero. Wow, it's hard to imagine what stress these two charming actresses went through. The nicest thing about this story is that the showrunners understood how nervous the actresses were, and they did their best to support them. The showrunners kept saying that their idea was to create New York as it really looks. You guys are making a big deal of this, but this is not a big deal to us. This is the show we wanted, and these are the people we wanted, Dan Gour told the actresses. And every time Melissa and Stephanie heard that, they would literally hold hands and try not to cry, and just have a moment with each other, knowing that they were working with the greatest people ever. 'Cause, hey, the good always wins. But there was a moment when Stephanie actually betrayed Melissa. Want to hear about that? Be patient. This story is coming soon. Friends since childhood. Okay, this is a pretty famous story, but just in case you're a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan and for some reason you've missed it, we'll briefly recall it for you. Andy Samberg and Chelsea Peretti knew each other long before the show. Yep, they went to school together, just like their Brooklyn Nine-Nine characters did in the series. Here are some photos for you. See? That's Andy and Chelsea in their elementary school yearbook. They've been friends since then. More than that, Chelsea had a huge crush on Andy at that time. She even told Andy, but Andy just dead-eyed her. Wow. Seems like he was perfectly fine being on the lonely island even then. And Chelsea couldn't let it go. I used to call his house on like those old-timey phones that we used to have. I would call and hang up, as some young girls do. Irritating young girls.
I don't know what my end game was, really. I didn't have a plan. There was no emojis then. That would have made it so easy.
Indeed. Just flirt with emojis and Andy Samberg will be yours. The interesting thing is that just like Gina loves emojis, Chelsea loves them IRL too. Here she is on the Conan show explaining what each emoji means. And when it came to this one, things got, let's just say a little weird. Conan did his best to pretend that he didn't understand what it meant, like he doesn't use any emojis and blah blah blah. And that's when Chelsea tricked him.
I have no idea. I don't have any contact with emojis.
I thought you were gonna say you don't have a penis.
Hilarious, because that's what you get when you try to make fun of Chelsea. The ultimate guide to who is who. Thanks to BuzzFeed Video, the cast shared some really funny and pretty intimate info about each other. Like, for example, what do you think? Who from the cast is most likely to give relationship advice? Andy? Fumero? No and no. How about Terry Crews? Yep. The thing is, this man has been married for more than 30 years. Look at this retro photo from his wedding. And because he and his wife have gone through a lot together, Terry feels like he can share some relationship advice with his close friends. Here's some more inside info about the cast for you. Who's most likely to break on camera? Any guesses? Okay, here's the correct answer.
The person most likely to break on camera is Melissa Fumero.
Wow! She didn't think for even 1 second. It looks like Beatriz betrayed Fumero. Despite the fact that they were so close right from the start of the show, Beatriz didn't hesitate to tell all about her friend. But to be fair, Fumero herself acknowledges that she's the one who spoils takes the most.
I'm probably most likely to break on camera. It's up 8... Sorry, what are they called? 8-2s? 8-1s?
Everyone reset. Her name is Melissa Fumero.
Looks like her co-stars have already gotten used to it. Moving on. I bet you'll never guess the answer to the next tricky question. Who from the cast is most likely to crash a cop car? If you think it's Joel McKinnon Miller, aka Scully, you're close, but still wrong. How about Dirk Blocker, aka Hitchcock?
I'm afraid you're looking at him. Probably.
And almost everyone from the cast recalled him being clumsy. There was even an incident where Dirk endangered his co-stars while filming.
Went a little too far. He set the whole set on fire. We had to rebuild it.
Jeez, we need to know more about that accident. But unfortunately, the cast didn't tell too much. As soon as we find out any details about Dirk setting everyone on fire, we'll let you know. The cast's inner jokes.
This set is a prank sanctuary.
Yeah. It couldn't be any different with a terrific cast like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'll give you a couple of examples here. Lo Truglio is known to be one of the funniest on the set, but he's also known to be the guy who can't stop joking, which can sometimes be annoying. That's why the cast invented a special name for Joe when he starts to mess around too much. They call him Butt McGee. Ouch! Sounds vexing, but what does that really mean? Andy explained that it comes from the comedy term button. Button means a joke that ends the scene. It has to be the funniest one to make a hard cut to another scene or a commercial softer. And for some reason, Mr. Truglio can't stop inventing his own buttons and always tries to add one more at the end. What do you think? Does this nickname, Butt McGee, help to shut the actor up? I don't think so. Lo Truglio is insatiable. Oh, and I think I've just figured out the perfect title of his sex tape. Talking about sex tape jokes.
Ow! How did you manage to step on both of my feet at the same time?
I'm horrible at this. When can we stop?
I'm horrible at this. When can we stop?
I know. Title of my sex tape.
Do you know how far the cast goes with it? It's not only something they consistently do in the series, but they do the joke in real life too. For example, while the cast were at San Diego Comic-Con, they said it a hell of a lot. Here, see for yourself.
I didn't know I was involved in this.
Title of your sex tape!
Give it to him.
Title of your sex tape. This is a disaster. Title of your sex tape.
High insults into
God, please move on.
Because, you can make this joke out of basically everything. Though sometimes it's indeed asking for it.
But she has layers like all of us do, We're multi-dimensional people, and one minute we're soft, the next hard. That title of your sex tape.
Do you want hard or medium?
Title of your sex tape.
Oh! So good. Okay.
God, these dudes are having so much fun together. Probably that's the secret to creating such a great show, right? Cast cancellation depression. All of you must remember those horrible times after season 5 when the Fox channel said, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is over. It's canceled. Fans got insanely mad and deeply depressed. Lots of the Hollywood celebs supported the show and called themselves Guardians of the Nine-Nine, which was a nice touch, by the way. But it wasn't only the fans who were heartbroken, the cast was too. According to Terry Crews, all the actors and actresses started a massive group chat while the whole cancellation process took place.
And it was the shock of a lifetime. I thought, oh my God, what do we do? It was horrible.
The cast had long conversations on a big WhatsApp chain. There was immense sadness. They didn't know which way was up or down. It felt like a family splitting up for everyone. Thankfully, this canceled situation only lasted for 30 hours, until NBC picked the show up. But those 30 hours showed the cast once again how important they were to each other. And when things turned for the better, everyone felt like they were rising from the dead together.
We're back!
I got a text that said, NBC said yes, said producer Dan Gore. Then I texted everybody. I texted random numbers in my phone. I texted ex-girlfriends.
How'd they take it?
I am fully blocked.
The good always wins, folks. Remember that. Though this time, it's been said that season 8 is going to be the last one, and we can't imagine how hard it will be for the cast to say goodbye to each other. Please, 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 NBC, make one more season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. 9 is a good number, right? Because we simply love the show. If you love the cast of Brooklyn Nine-Nine as much as we do, then check out these videos too. Thanks for watching, and take care.